we are. I'm going to get some of the chassis done to get it ready for painting. But real quick, some of the things that I use. I'll go over some of the different size rods that I use. For all the roll bars, I use Evergreen 116 rod. For the fuel lines that I'm going to add, I'm actually going to use their 3/64th rod. I was using the 1/16th rod, but it was kind of the same size, so I wanted it a little bit smaller. One of the trips to the hobby store to get more rods, they didn't have any of the 3/64, so I got I got like a couple sizes, different sizes for other things, and I was using some really smaller ones. So I'm going to go back up and use the 3/64 scale, because the fuel lines that run through the interior are they're kind of big, but they're not as big as the roll bars. But I think Revell I think they might have undersized the roll bars just a little bit, which isn't a problem. So I'm gonna use 3/64 rod for the fuel lines. We'll get to that later. Onto the chassis now. I'm gonna get a couple of things done to it. I like to pre-assemble as much as I can, and then do the painting. I think it just makes things a tad bit easier. One of the things we're going to add real quick, I need to add the dry shaft loop. Get that hair out of there. The next thing I will add is the part of the rear track bar mount. Where is it? Some glue there. Put some glue there. I broke the track bar mount, taking it off the spur, so we're going to set it there. Okay, maybe we're not going to set it there. Forget it. Alright. So we're going to set that there and leave that for a few minutes to dry, to set up. Next thing, the firewall. Need to get it ready to go. Get these things out. A little bit of here, a little bit of here. Alright, not done with the firewall quite yet. We got to drill a hole in the firewall. Oh, I forgot to mention too. For the steering shaft, since Revell just has you attach the steering wheel to the dashboard, which is kind of silly, I like to actually add a steering shaft to it. And so I use the 1/16th rod as well for the steering shaft. It's pretty much the perfect size to fit in the hole on the steering wheel. So since it's already there, I just go with it. So get my pin vise out here. Which one? That's a big one. Let's see. Don't ask me what size actual bit I am using. It's a little bit smaller than the actual 1/16th rod, but then I have a bigger one. Anyway, so what we're going to do to line everything up so it fits right, if I can get it focused here. Okay. So there's a hole right here. Take my word on it. There we go. That hole right there is where you attach the steering linkage, or the steering shaft that goes to the steering box in the engine compartment. So we're going to come down just a little bit. I'm going to drill the hole for the new steering shaft right about here, because if you do the shaft, you're going to have a steering shaft that comes straight out like that. So I just come down a little bit, drill the hole, I should know. I try to usually do it before I put that brace on. Sometimes I don't always remember. But anyway, it's not a big deal. So we'll pull out what was up to my little... I can get rid of that since I'm almost... So... And there we go. There's your steering shaft. I will get to later on getting it all cut to length and stuff later on. But for now, I just like to get... That's everything. So everything is... All the holes are drilled. And have it all done before painting. Now we'll just get the firewall in place. So now we are moving forward. I've already I've glued some of the roll bar pieces to the right side, main roll bar piece. Did that just one, it makes it easier for painting, less things to have to paint separately. Anyway, so now I'm gonna add one of the missing roll bars. So we got the 16th rod here, and the roll bar. And that's going to slot in right about there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in there. Alright, so what we're going to do, there, and I'm going to take using my spur cutters, just going to cut it off. That son of a bitch out. Alright, so now we have the roll bar. Gonna just kind of smooth the tip up a little, or not to kind of flatten the Alright, always gets cut a little longer. So now that it's trimmed, we'll see if it fits. This is a bit of the tricky part here to do this. Alright, nope, it needs to be trimmed a little bit more. So we'll just trim it some more. Alright, so that should work. Put some glue on it. If you wonder what glue I'm using, I'm just using straight old, don't laugh now, Testors tube glue. I actually like using it for on evergreen products, but it works. Kind of melts it a little bit. I still didn't get it trimmed far enough. Just trim the bottom. Alright, so it's in place. There you can see it. There it is, in place. So that one is done.